everyone, and welcome to another episode of Command Combat Battle Reports. Today I will be beginning a project that will go all the way until July. I will be building the battlefield for Gettysburg. What part of Gettysburg, you ask? All of it. The whole thing. This project is being done for my miniatures game Command Combat Civil War, which is available now at commandcombat.com and on Wargame Vault. This battlefield will be used to promote the game at places like Historicon and other game conventions. Since I'm putting this battlefield together, I figured I'd share the experience with all of you. We begin with this archway, which was at the front of the town. Many of the men poured through this archway as the Confederates pushed back the Yankees on the first day. The Federal soldiers retreated through the town into the hills beyond, where the majority of the battle took place. When we're done with it, the archway should resemble this. This is the actual archway at the outskirts of Gettysburg. Now, we're starting with the red brick. I started with a black base for the shadows, and I'm lightly painting on the red so it sticks to the bricks. And I'm trying to avoid getting into the cracks as much as possible to leave them shadowy to give depth. I'll make a few mistakes, but I'll also go over it afterward with a black wash. The battlefield itself consists of an area from Little Round Top at the bottom, stretching up along Cemetery Ridge to Cemetery Hill, then through the town of Gettysburg, up to the ridge and roads at the top, which was the site of the first day's fighting. Culp's Hill is about at the center right of the screen, and Seminary Ridge is on the left side of the screen, and those will be important as well. Checking in on the archway, I'm working on the last part. As you can see, I've gotten a bit of red paint in the cracks. So, not to worry, as I said, I will be going over that with a black wash. Now, onto the top. I paint it white, brushing lightly against it to preserve as much of the depth as possible. These all come from model paints I get at Michael's, by the way. No need for fancy paints here. We're going to be covering a lot of ground, so we'll need a lot of paint. We're going to be doing Little Round Top, where the 20th Maine held off huge waves of Confederates, the Devil's Den, which is an unusual geological spot where huge rocks jut out of the ground, Culp's Hill, which is densely wooded, the field across which Lee sent out Pickett's charge, complete with a fence that slowed them up, and Cemetery Hill, where the Union artillery gunned down the charge. We'll cover each one in videos like this, showing the progress and how we're going about it, as well as some of the history. And it all begins with this, the archway into the town of Gettysburg. I thought it would be appropriate since this archway sort of welcomes visitors into the town and onto the monument of the battlefield. The soldiers were welcomed in a sort of different way. Not only were the Union soldiers running for their lives as they ran through it, but there was a sign which read, "Anyone found bearing firearms in this vicinity will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law." Something tells me the law didn't bother trying to arrest anyone that day. But we're going to make sure that that sign is on our archway. So we're gluing it on, then painting underneath to hide some of the whiteness of the glue. And there we go. The archway is done, and we are underway building the board for the Battle of Gettysburg. To follow our progress, be sure to subscribe, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can also watch us on www.commandcombatreports.com. Happy gaming, everyone!